I'd like to welcome Venerable Issariya to share some of his perspectives, and Naaman will translate for him.
I
give you my regards to each and everybody who are in appearance in this event, conference.
Dima Tea Queen Yabo, using Pejade, the Sambela, Bora Sambela, Senda, Dingo, Dema Luigi, Mimiago Lebe, using in it to Jesus in Shibare.
I would like to first of all give my thanks to all the Shambhala associates and Shambhala principals and leader to make this possible and to support me to come to United States to attend this conference.
Dima Uzin in a Miai, Labida Daya, Lila Queen. Yare, Shimbia Queen Yare de Jong Lebe, Alo, Gudeo Lajade Duri, Alu Lebe, Jesus Timare.
I would like to thank to each and everybody else for my new experience and new observation for you for these activities in first time.
Within in it. Pure Mehe solution, within no Nanga, the Sianashin Alma, Chosen and Nakuni Degani, Salusin, Unity Sudo, the Romemia, Galaja, among Galago, Uzinu, Pietara, Pietebono.
In my country, all this happened under the brutal regime since 1962. Until now, it's been many, many years of this atrocity happened to each and everybody else.
Erima Uzinga, the Johnny Bede Kajaro, Poimuago Yawine, Poisari, who lebe a change Jajibe Uzin, Tin Jage Bade.
When military junta persecute and revolution start since I was young, I became a monk since I was young, and I became reading and understanding about how the Buddhist teaching is since young.
Edima, within a town Goya, goes in Shikuma, Yangondana Dagrugo, the Yapinya, Dinjaquin Yakebare.
I have an opportunity to attend in 1998 in a Buddhist university in Mandalay, and I have a chance to study there.
Within a Eddie Dagro de Ma, the Yaude Chinga Sabido, the Nima Nangaye Duapono, Nangayego, within the Romemia Sabi Wine town, Sajide town, computer, English, the Barabira, Tenani, Japan dinner, the Tenanigo, within Puemare.
From that moment, from that university time, I do activities such as reading, writing, posting, inspiring among the students against with the military regime since I was in a university.
Within it, the Within Nanga, the Sianashin ye, Pandi Muja, Sianashin alumen teacher daime, within Nanga Mahe solution, that do go dolane do, Nidu Meso Duani Bido, Dabye de Tongchare, Edima Bamago, Kayingo, Diana Alo, a Kono Mono, now some Bodabara, some Majan, Duaro, to go dolan Manamia Konda, that the Tongchare, no, Sianashin.
As you all know that we have a Burmese regime, and no matter what, whoever that against with the Burmese regime, they will persecute. Even Sangha, even Buddhists, they persecute to maintain the power.
Within တော်လာခဲ့တဲ့ဒီအဆက်ဆက်မှာဟေးဆိုလို့ရှိရင်လည်းဦးဇင်းတို့ဒါတန်ဃာတွေနော်ထောင်ကြတယ်ထောင်ထဲမှာအသက်ခံရတယ်အဲ့တော့ဦးဇင်းတို့ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်လည်းဒီလိုထောင်ကြမယ်သူတို့နှိပ်စက်ခံရမယ်သိပေမဲ့ဦးဇင်းတို့မြန်မာနိုင်ငံလူနိုင်ငံသားတွေအားလုံးလွတ်မြောက်ရေးအတွက်ပဲဟေးဆိုပြီးတော့ဦးဇင်းတို့ကကိုယ့်အသက်ကိုလှူပြီးတော့ဒီနိုင်ငံရေးထဲမှာနှိမ့်မြုပ်ထားတာပေါ့နော်
I've been facing this revolution since in university and in my career of revolution against the military. Some of our friends, monks, and the famous monks have been passed away in the jail and a prison. Some even they came out and have many kinds of illness and pass away. And also, I put my life in this persecution, and we are still doing it. I would like to explain that my friends and my colleague passed away, and we've been experienced this revolution in doing the time, and we still putting our life and in doing so.
The 2007 revolution ပေါ့အဲ့ဒီ case တွေပေါ့နော်ဒီတော်လှန်ရေးတွေဖြစ်လာအောင်လည်းပဲဦးစင်းကိုယ်တိုင်ဒီထဲမှာပါဝင်ပြီးတော့ဦးစင်းဦးဆောင်ပြီးတော့ဒါဒီ2009ရဲ့အရေးအခင်းကိုဦးစင်းစူးစမ်းဆောင်ရွက်ခဲ့ပါတယ်
I was one of the leader of a Saffron revolution that I was the organizer. I gather and I struggle for revolution, Saffron revolution to happen, occur on the road, in each and everywhere and entire Burma. This is my part of my revolution that it's in a history. 2009ရဲ့အတွင်းမှာပေါ့နော်ဦးစင်းရဲ့ဒါတငယ်ချင်းတွေခေါင်းဆောင်တွေဥက္ကမီသားတို့ရေးဆိုရင်အဲ့ဒီအတွင်းကထောင်ဒဏ်ဆို88နှစ်29နှစ်အဲ့လိုမျိုးတွေထောင်ဒဏ်တွေသူတို့ချပစ်တယ်ပေါ့နော် One of my colleague friends, Ashin Issariya, he was sentenced for 78 years. Some sentenced for 27 years. Some are persecuted in such way.
အဲ့ဒီ2007အပြီးမှာတော့ဆီယနာရှင်ကဦးဇင်းတို့တန်ဃာတွေကိုပို့ပြီးတော့မုံတီးသွားတယ်ပေါ့နော်
After the awakening Saffron revolution in the history of Burma democracy and human rights movement, military junta focused it more than and before and start persecuting whoever monks against with the military junta.
အဲ့ဒီမှာဦးဇင်းတို့ဒီ2007လဲပြီးရောသူတို့ကထပ်ပြီးတော့အရေးအခင်းနေနဲ့အခြေအနေတွေမှာဦးဇင်းကိုလည်းပဲသူတို့လိုက်ဖမ်းတယ်ပေါ့နော်လိုက်ဖမ်းပြီးမဲ့ဦးဇင်းကရှောင်ရင်းတင်းရင်းနိုင်ငံရေးလုပ်ရင်းနဲ့နောက်ဆုံးဒီထိုင်းနိုင်ငံမဲဆောက်ဘက်ကိုဦးဇင်းကတိတ်ရှောင်လိုက်ရတာပေါ့
Because of my activities in Saffron revolution, they try to arrest me, they try to persecute me, so I escaped to Thai Burma border, Mesau, and I was reside there because of my activities.
အဲ့ဒီမှာလည်းပဲဦးဇင်းဒီစာပေဝိုင်းတွေစာကြည့်တိုက်တွေဒီထောင်ရင်းနိုင်ငံရေးတင်နန်းလူခွင့်ရေးတင်နန်းဒီမြန်မာနိုင်ငံရဲ့ဖွံ့ဖြိုးရေးလုပ်ငန်းတွေကိုဦးဇင်းဆက်လက်ဆောင်ရွက်ပါတယ်
And yet, and I still do my activities in the Thai Burma border for reading, writing, preaching, and educating, opening for the young generation for the computer and the technology, and it's still I was able to do more than ever.
အခုအနေနဲ့ပြောချင်တာကတော့မြန်မာနိုင်ငံရဲ့လက်ရှိအခြေအနေကိုပြောပြချင်ပါတယ်
Right now, I would like to explain about the current situation in Burma, what is going on for daily current situation.
အခုအခြေအနေကတော့အားလုံးပဲသိကြတဲ့အတိုင်းပဲဦးဇင်းတို့နိုင်ငံဟာအခုဒေါအောင်ဆန်းစုကြည်အစိုးရဖြစ်လာတဲ့ဟဲ့ဆိုပေမဲ့ဦးဇင်းတို့နိုင်ငံဟာသူများနိုင်ငံနဲ့အခြေအနေမတူပါဘူး
Even though in this current situation today, even though Daw Aung San Suu Kyi, the Councillor State of State Department for Burma, even though we have a democracy, but it's not. It doesn't mean that it's like other country democracy.
ဘာလို့လဲဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ဦးဇင်းတို့နိုင်ငံရဲ့ဒီ constitution ဟာဒီစစ်အာဏာရှင်တွေကတစ်ဖက်သက်ရေးဆွဲထားတဲ့ဥစ္စာဖြစ်ပါတယ်သူတို့စိတ်တိုင်းကြရေးထားတာဖြစ်ပါတယ်
Because of constitution that plotted constitution that they wrote, it is until under the military ruling system, and it's not the same as the democratic nation, and it's not we have achieved the rights of a democracy fundamentally.
ဒီလွတ်တော်မှာဟဲ့ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်စစ်အုပ်စုဘက်ကနေပြီးတော့ automatic 25ရာခိုင်နှုန်းခုံယူထားတယ်ပေါ့နော်
Even though in the parliament they have a 25% of a ruling system without even having a people representative or people votes.
ဒီယနေ့တဲ့ဒီစစ်အာဏာရှင်အုပ်စုကဒီစစ်ဘက်ဆိုင်ရာပြီးတော့ရဲအုပ်ချုပ်ရေးနယ်စပ်ရေးရာအဲ့ဒီအရေးရာတွေမှန်သမျှဟာဒေါအောင်ဆန်းစုကြည်ရဲ့အောက်မှာမရှိပါဘူးလက်ရှိအစိုးရရဲ့အောက်မှာမရှိပါဘူး
From the beginning of Aung San Suu Kyi government, military junta control, police department, administration department, military, and also others powerful, backed up homegrown NGO.
အဲ့ဒီဥစ္စာကြောင့်ပဲအင်မတန်မှပြဿနာတွေရှိပါတယ်အနားယူပြီးခဲ့တဲ့ကာလမှာမဲရှုံးသွားတဲ့ USDP ပေါ့ကြံ့ခိုင်ရေးအသင်းဟာဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ဒီစစ်တပ်ကလူတွေနဲ့ဖွဲ့စည်းထားတာဖြစ်တယ်ပေါ့နော်
Even though there are other parties that are powerful parties that are provided by the military junta with the multi-trillions of millions of dollar, and then they are moving the force of having another election.
သူတို့ကဒေါအောင်ဆန်းစုကြည်အစိုးရဟာဒါကြီးကိုလုံးဝအုပ်ချုပ်လို့မရဘူးဒီအုပ်ချုပ်ရေးရန်တရားတွေမတည်ငြိမ်ဘူးဆိုတာကိုသူတို့ကပြကျင်တဲ့အတွက်ကြောင့်ယနေ့မြန်မာနိုင်ငံအတွင်းမှာရေးဆိုလို့ရှိရင်အခုလိုဘာသာရေးပြိပခတွေမငြိမ်းချမ်းမှုတွေတပ်ဖြတ်မှုတွေဖန်တီးမှုတွေအများကြီးပဲရှိနေတယ်
They want to show, the military regime wants to show the world that it's a not stable nation, and they destabilize among the religions, among the race, and among each and every organization, and to show that to the world that it's not a stable nation. And that is why Aung San Suu Kyi government is not able to control for any purpose.
ဒါကြောင့်မလို့ပဲသူတို့ကအခုဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ဒီမဘဒတို့ဝီရတူတို့နော်ဒီတန်ခါဥစ္စာတွေကိုသူတို့ဒါဖွဲ့စည်းပြီးတော့နောက်ကနေပြီးတော့ sporting ပေါ့ထောက်ပံ့ပေးနေတာဖြစ်တယ်ပေါ့
That is why they provide, the military junta provide backed up to the Mabata, which is Sangha association provided by the military and other groups. That is why they provide to destabilize the government for the country, and they have a groups that other groups that to manipulate the nation.
အဲ့တော့ဒီသူတို့ဖန်တီးမှုတွေကြောင့်အခုဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ဒါမနေ့ကလည်းပဲဒါကိုကြီးကြည့်ကြပါတော့ဗောနော်ပဋိပက္ခတွေဘာသာရေးမငြိမ်းချမ်းမှုတွေဒါမြန်မာနိုင်ငံတွင်းထဲမှာအများကြီးပဲဖြစ်သွားတယ်ဗောနော်
because of the gender that organizing situation like atrocity, I like yesterday that I saw from the film, it's became a religious conflict and ethnic conflicts.
ဒီလိုမျိုးဖန်တီးမှုတွေမငြိမ်သက်မှုတွေအမြဲတမ်းကတော့သူကဖြစ်နေမှာပဲဘာဖြစ်လို့လဲဆိုရင်ဒီစစ်အာဏာရှင်ရဲ့ဖန်တီးထားမှုတွေကအမြဲတမ်းရှိနေတယ်
This will go to continue as long as Burma regime is still in the power. This religious conflict, ethnic conflict will be maintained as long as the military is in power in Burma.
အဲ့ဒါကြောင့်မလို့ဦးဇင်းအခုဘာတွေအနာဂတ်ကိုဒီလိုမျိုးဘာသာတစ်ခုနဲ့တစ်ခုကြားမဖြစ်အောင်ငြိမ်းချမ်းမှုဖြစ်အောင်အဲ့ဒါကိုဦးဇင်းအနေနဲ့ဦးဇင်းအခုဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ပြည်တွင်းမှာလုပ်နေတဲ့ဒီလောကပါဠိနဲ့ငြိမ်းချမ်းရေးဆိုတဲ့အစီအစဉ်အကြောင်းကိုဦးဇင်းပြောပြချင်ပါတယ်
That is why I have a future plan and I want to tell you about Loka Pala and Nyenjanyi. Loka Pala is from the Buddhist scripture, and Nyenjanyi is a peace. And I would like to share you a few little introduce about my slogan.
I wonder if we could do that this afternoon, because we'll have a more extended time to do that. So then you could present your whole program. Would that be okay? Is that
Yeah now အခုအချင်းချုပ်လေးပေါ့နော်5မိနစ်လောက်3မိနစ်လောက်
I would like to introduce just the title.
okay?
The title, what it means of the title, that will see a vision, and I will explain about the details, about the plan, about to do what is the main progress can happen in the future of Burma.
လောကဆိုတာကတော့ဦးဇင်းတို့ဒီစကြဝဠာအကုန်လုံးမှာရှိကြတဲ့ဘာသာပေါင်းစုံရဲ့လူတွေအတွက်ဖြစ်တယ်ပေါ့နော်
Loka means it's the universe.
ဒီပါဠိဆိုတာကတော့သူတို့အားလုံးရဲ့ငြိမ်းချမ်းရေးကျန်းမာရေးစီးပွားရေးပညာရေးသူတို့အရေးတွေအားလုံးကိုအစဉ်ပြေသွားအောင်ဝိုင်းဝန်းစောင့်ရှောက်ထိန်းသိမ်းတဲ့အရေးဖြစ်ပါတယ်
Loka means universe, Pala means protector. Protector of economic, protector of education, protector of well-being, and protector of Lokapala, protector of politics.
ပြီးတော့မှဦးဇင်းတို့ဒါကိုဦးဇင်းအခုလှုပ်ဆောင်နေတာရဲ့နောက်လှုပ်ဆောင်ဒီမြန်မာပြည်မှာဆိုလို့ရှိရင်ဒီအစီအစဉ်တွေကိုချပြီးတော့ငြိမ်းချမ်းရေးအတွက်ကိုဦးဇင်းစ조사နေတာတွေကိုနောက်ကြရင်ဆက်ပြီးရှင်းပြပါမယ်
And I will explain about Loka Pala, universe, protection of all, etc., of economic, business, livelihood, and plus peace. Nyenjanyi is all together bound up in Nyenjanyi, and I would like to explain later on details, and thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Venerable Issariya. Thank you, Nimin. I think that you have actually, you have this term, Lokapala, in your Tibetan tradition as protectors, right? We have a few minutes before we have to break for lunch, and I'd like to just invite questions. You can direct your questions to any of us. We have some time for some conversation, and this is just a teaser for what we'll be able to speak about this afternoon. Yes.
My question is about those areas where what I'm trying to say is, here in America, if you are in a interracial marriage, there is the possibility of you grabbing opposition from both sides. And that is, but that really, we're trying to marry these opposing cultures, and yet you end up bearing the brunt of it from either side. Not very clear.
I would like to know again for a short term, just like pointed out what your question is. You want to know about the America's situation is right here, but in Burma, what you want to know about the conflict about Buddhism and
General, what I'm really going for is the fact that there is the left, there is the right, and we understand that they have problems. But if you have a left-right marriage or friendship or relationship, then that becomes a target for both sides, and there is little incentive for building bridges.
Well, what I understand the question is like, how do you bridge cultural or political differences? And I think that the cultural differences are perhaps different than the political differences. And I don't have an answer to it, but I think it's also, there's a specificity to what occurs in Myanmar. I think Khin could maybe address it.
You know, I think there's, I guess, you know, I would distinguish between kind of like some of the facts that Hena pointed out and what's happening in Rakhine State and, you know, what's happening in the rest of Myanmar to some extent. I mean, I think that it's a very diverse country that, you know, it's one of the most diverse countries in the world. And I think historically there's been a lot of mixing of different ethnicities, different religions, both in a marriage context, but also in communities and friendships. At the same time, you know, as I pointed out and as Siada pointed out, that in recent times since the military takeover, there has been a clamping down of control by the military over time and kind of creating this tension between different ethnic groups. And I think right now, because of what's happened in recent times, there's a lot of focus on the Rohingya, which is, I think, appropriate, but at the same time, this is something that has been happening for a long time in terms of dividing different communities. Like a lot of the different ethnic minorities have large Christian you know, communities as well. I think that, you know, there in a lot of the large cities, I don't live in Yangon, I don't live in Burma anymore, as you know, but I know that in a lot of the large cities, there is a lot of interethnic friendships and interethnic marriages and so forth, but at the same time, there's still this, you know, there isn't a pluralism the way that we have here. The Burma and the Buddhists are kind of at the top, and that is seen as being synonymous with Myanmar and with being Burmese-ness. And so, you know, at one hand, we're looking at it through the crisis, through the lens of the Rohingya crisis, where there's all these rights that have been stripped away since 1982, and even before, actually, gradually over time, against the Rohingya. But at the same time, there's also other ethnic minorities who are also religious minorities who do mix with the Buddhists and the Burma, but who also don't share equal rights. But I would say that in the city, I mean, there's a lot of Burmese Muslim, for instance, that are not Rohingya, that are citizens still. And so it's, I think it's a little more nuanced than just looking at the facts in Rakhine State, which are very real and which I do a lot of advocacy on.
Yeah. Nimin?
Would like to answer the question the gentleman asked. I would like to answer that question too. My father is Islam. My mom is Catholic. My mom is Mon, and my father is Burmese, also mixed Iranian. But it's the freedom of individual rights to marry each in a democratic society. If there's no democratic society, there's a force, there's a military, there's a law that doesn't exist. It's a different way of thinking. For us, there's no law for loving each other. You can marry or make a family. That is, I believe that universal rights for doing. It's against with the fundamental of mankind. I'll say that.
Thank you. There's one more question. Let's take one more question before we break for lunch, or two more questions, but we should be brief with the questions and brief with the answers. Yes.
I was just wondering what about the United States diplomatic relationship with Myanmar now. Did that change with the democratization?
One of you two.
I'll take this one. I took the last one.
So the U.S. recognizes that what has happened there. The Congress, especially in the past, after this past year, has been very vocal in their cognizance of the situation out there. There's been a lot of also disbelief, and also just sort of like, we supported Aung San Suu Kyi all these years. We supported the democratization of this country. Obama lifted up the sanctions, and they thought that they had a grip on the situation and things would get better. And a lot of them have realized, people who worked for this in DC, dedicated, that was their life, right? That was their legacy that they were going to leave behind. Ed Royce, a lot of other Congress people. I realized they sort of they feel like they were played. However, Burma is, it's opening up. There's a lot of investment. A lot of businesses have invested there. A lot of corporations are there. So American government does feel like if we clamp down too hard, we'll lose out on this piece of the pie that everybody else in the world is getting. Mitch McConnell, Senator Mitch McConnell, who is the head of the Senate, is he who holds the cards, is a very personal friend of Aung San Suu Kyi. He believes any criticism of her is going to be bad for the whole, democracy in that country. So he has not let any of the bills come to the Senate floor, even though there's bipartisan support from both sides, from people that we never even thought that we'd get support from. So that is, the State Department has, and this took a lot of advocacy by a lot of people, but has increased aid to the camps, and not just to the camps, but Burma itself, to Kachin province, to the Rohingyas, from $30 million to about $400 million, which was a big, it took a lot of time and a lot of effort, but that was getting especially the ambassador for religious freedom, Sam Brownback, involved in this case, in this crisis, and him going to the camps. And so a lot of work has been done in DC at the government's end, but there's still a lot more. And hopefully in the afternoon, we can talk about how you guys can get involved in pressing for some of these, this work for the government to take a stronger stance.
Thank you, Hena. There's one more question over here.
It's a very general question, and I think maybe there may be a variety of answers, so you could maybe address it more in the afternoon.
Let's see.
I just want to say that when people learn about the situation, as you said, there is disbelief. I mean, it's a huge issue just to actually get to believe and understand what's going on. And there's shock, there's numbness, there's anger, there's frustration, there's helplessness. And I just wonder from your perspective, what is the most helpful sort of attitude that allows you to continue to keep going? And obviously you're immersed in it, but I think it could be helpful for us to hear from you on that level. And the inspiration, obviously, the inspiration and the strength, the attitude that allows you to face and make progress.
I will just jump in and say it's the simple answer is love, and the underneath that is to actually do whatever I can to acquaint myself with the realities. So to go there was very important, and my responsibility on going there was then to do things like this, to then inform people and show people images and have them understand the reality, because once they're exposed to it, their human capacities will usually reach out. Someone else want to?
The အဓိကကတော့ဦးဇင်းတို့ဒါဘာသာရေးဟေ့ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်တော့ဘာသာရေးကောင်းဆောင်တွေမှာလည်းပဲအဓိကတာဝန်တွေရှိတယ်ပေါ့ကိုဘာသာအသင်းထဲမှာဟိုမှားရင်းတဲ့ message တွေမပေးဖို့လိုတယ်
It's from the perspective of Sangha, from the perspective of religion, it's very important to know that don't give a false information or false message that is from religious perspective. The false message will make a lot of conflict.
အဲ့ဒါရေးကောင်းဆောင်တွေကမှားရင်းတဲ့ဥစ္စာတွေကိုပေးလိုက်ရင်အဲ့ဒါကိုယုံပြီးတော့ခုနပြောခဲ့တဲ့အကြံဖတ်တာတယောက်နဲ့တယောက်တိုက်ခိုက်တာတွေဖြစ်လာရင်ယုံကြည်မှုမှားသွားရင်ပြဿနာတွေဖြစ်လာတတ်တယ်
From the perspective of religious leader, if they give a wrong message, it can be conflict among all walks of life. That is very important to know that every religion needs to give a positive and loving message.
I would just say very briefly, I mean, for me as a lay Burmese Buddhist here in the States, I think that what's kept me going in this work and what's given me comfort is finding other people like my friend Chu Mei Peng, who I've been in touch with for the last year and a half, I think, and just met in person today. I've met so many progressive Burmese Buddhists in the country and abroad that are so dedicated to this work, and that's what keeps me going.
So in my faith tradition, we believe that the Creator does not put a burden on people that they cannot bear. We believe that God controls the world. That this, as much as it's a test for the people who are going through it, it's a test for me and you and everybody around us. What will we do about it, right? We can be safe in our little bubble space, and we're peaceful and we're, able to worship. but what about others, right? And if they're in such crisis mode that just taking the next breath is painful, whereas we have that capacity to take deep breaths and meditate and think about God and think about the Creator and think about goodness, right? But they don't even have that space to breathe. So whose responsibility is it every day to get up, to make sure we share some of that air with those people? So that is what keeps me going, is that I know that for them, it's going to be, like, we believe in an afterlife. We believe that for them, the gardens of paradise are, even if they go through the worst, hell on earth, right? It is hell on earth. Those camps are hell on earth. Those concentration camps in the city or in the country are hell on earth. Inside the prisons and jail, that's hell on earth. In Kachin province, in churches where they're sleeping, hundreds into a tiny little church because that's the only sanctuary they have, that's hell on earth. So they'll get an easy access to heaven. But what about me? Like, how do I earn my paradise, right? So that's what keeps me going.
That's a wonderful place to break. So we'll break for lunch. And Melanie, do you have any instructions? Yes, I do. Okay. Perhaps invitation might be a better. Right.